Hi, I'm Chris and these are the Outlier Golds. They are an updated version of the Outlier Airs, which I've been using now for quite a few months, and one of my favorite TWS earbuds that have an IPX5 rating. And we've got, of course, with these, aptX support and AAC codec if you're an Apple user. They also support Google Assistant, Siri, and a very, very good battery runtime on a single charge, up to 14 hours. So the design of the case and the earbuds themselves has not changed. They've just changed the color scheme so people can clearly see that, oh, they're the gold version because, well, it's gold. Now, I don't particularly like the color scheme here. I think it stands out a little more. I prefer a discreet look, so I like the coloring, the paint job we get with the original ears. So these earbuds, they were held in place here with magnets and the pogo port pins there to charge. Now, charging time of these earbuds is approximately 2 hours to fully charge them, which isn't bad. And you can see that there is a light on here, the status LEDs, letting you know that they're charging. So when this comes on, that's telling you that your battery case needs to be charged. It's low, and that will take approximately 3 hours to 3.5 hours to charge the case. And these lights go out when the earbuds themselves are fully charged, which is handy. So you know, just looking at it, that when the light's gone out, okay, they're fully charged, I'm going to get up to 14 hours. Now in my testing, I'm getting around close to 12 hours, and it's all going to depend on the genre of music and, of course, the main thing, your volume there. The louder the volume, the less battery life. So if you use a lower volume, that's when you can get close to or on to the actual claim of 14 hours there. So you need to press your finger into it to slide it out. The build quality is good, and the comfort of these, I find them to be fine. The ear tips, they are standing so far the test of time. I've had the ears and they use the same exact tips on them. For me, they are a good fit and seal. I don't have any issues, comfort problems with them as well. But I can wear these for long hours on end, long time, no problems. And they're standing the test of time here. There's no damage to these. It's not like they're falling off. I haven't lost them yet. So that is all good. And they're very lightweight, of course. These are only 5.5 grams each. Making, of course, them quite comfortable, adding to the comfort, the fact that they are light. So when you put them in the case, that is when they start to charge automatically. Pulling them out, they will automatically pair up to a device that is in range and has already been paired to them. In the box, you'll find a Type-C cable to charge the charging case, of course, then some small tips and large tips there as well if the medium ones, which are pre-fitted, didn't work out and give you a good seal. So most importantly, just how do these sound compared to the original ears? I found that the golds now, they are lacking tiny bit of bass compared to the ears, but they've gained a little bit more, I would say, slightly higher quality vocals and the highs. Now overall, I think these are very balanced out of the box. So with a flat equalizer, listening to these with some high quality FLAC files, I found that yes, they are marginally better, but you'll notice that the bass isn't quite as good as the originals, and it's possibly done to save a little bit, maybe on battery life, but I just think it's because of those new drivers. So we've got AAC codec support, we've got aptX, and I've noticed that latency is very good in video, that I'm not seeing any lag issues, so you can watch episodes of your favorite TV show, movies, without having them look like Bruce Lee movies, not syncing with their lips. Now these earbuds do support mono mode, so if you wanted to just make some voice calls with only one of them, you don't need both of them connected. Just leave one in the case, pull it out, it will pair up and work perfectly fine in mono mode. So the mics on these, there's no improvement over the original. The mics is probably one of the cons here. They're not amazing quality we're getting with these. Single mic on both of them, so dual microphones, of course, to be used either one of them in mono, but there is no like real active noise cancellation here at work to make the call quality sound better. Now these earbuds also support this, which is this Super X-Fi software. So it's something you could say that's similar to Dolby Atmos. It's a software that's trying to recreate the experience of a super high-end, expensive multi-speaker setup just through your headphones. Now there's one thing I don't particularly like about this app. I think it's unnecessary. That why do they need a scan and a map of our head, of our face? Why do they need that in their database? So if you're someone that values your privacy, of course you wouldn't use the app then. Now you don't need to use this app. So what it does, you can hear the difference when you're using it, and you're in videos and things. It's just tweaking the sound output. It's giving it a little bit more depth to it. And really, it's not essential, and for me personally, it's not something I believe I will be actually using a lot. So there are only 6 supported devices, 2 of those are from Creative. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about the comfort, that they are exactly the same as the ears, that they fit in fine. You've got to twist them to make sure you get that good fit, and they're not going to fall out. At least with my ears, I haven't had too much of a problem. Now, you do get some passive noise cancellation, but it is certainly not the best out there. And I think it's to do with the tips that they have gone with, that they are slightly different compared to all those other brands. But I'm not having any problems with the seal, with the medium sized, with my ears here. The size I find is fine. Now, I wish they didn't go with the gold. You can see the gold makes it stand out more. I mean, they are a little bit big here. I like the touch controls. So you've got your double tap to skip tracks, tap and hold to increase the volume, depending on which side will also be decrease. Then you've got Siri, Google Assistant as well. That's all working there. And the microphone tends to pick up things well. Now, the mics is one area that I have to criticize here. It's not amazing quality. So if you're buying these to make a lot of calls on, and call quality is very important to you, I would probably skip them for calls if that's what you're going to be doing the majority of the time. The battery life is amazing for that, but it's just not going to be the best because it still picks up a lot of ambient noise. That's the real con here with them, I would say, because you get other brands out there that have the 2 mics on there. So one is dedicated to your voice, one is dedicated to listening really onto the ambient noise, and it's applying some active noise cancellation that these do not have. Okay, so that's one area where I can criticize them. But the battery life is amazing. I mean, I'm getting about close to 12 hours. If I was to lower the volume further, I can easily see a continual 14 hours out of these, which is great. And then the case itself is going to give you almost 2 additional charges. So if you're listening to high volumes, it depends on your genre. If you're listening to a lot of heavy bass tracks, then maybe 10 hours, at least 30 hours in total, which is something you cannot say with a lot of brands out there. So good build quality, they're light. I like the fact they've got hardware touch controls. So you double tap to skip track, tap and hold to increase or decrease the volume depending on which side that you're tapping, of course. And then we've got Siri support. We've got an IPX5. So that's your sweat rating, which is great to have. AAC codec for Apple. Then we've got very good latency, aptX support as well. I found the latency to be very good. I'm not seeing lag, so it's not lagging behind by a millisecond like some other brands that don't have aptX. These ones are good. So overall, these get a thumbs up from me. Now in terms of the audio quality, just to say that I've noticed that the bass doesn't seem quite as good as the original ears, but the golds, I think, they've changed things a little bit. So out of the box, they've decided to make them a little bit more balanced. But to me, these are very balanced. They've decided to go and boost the mids a little bit and then the highs. But if you're after the absolute best sound quality, to me so far in my experience with testing TWS audio, these earbuds, you really probably want to get one of the dual driver ones. So they have one driver dedicated just for your lows, and then they have the other dedicated to just mids and highs. And that separation means that the bass isn't really interfering with the mids or your vocals, which can sometimes happen a little bit with all of these just single driver earbuds out there. But overall, I really do like these. The main key point here is battery life. If battery life is super important to you, I'm one of those people that goes on long haul flights to New Zealand, then these ones, I think they tick the boxes there. So a slight improvement. I just wish we could get another color scheme too as well. The gold, I'm not too fond of. I'd rather have these being black, a little bit more discreet. So thank you so much for watching this review. Hope to catch you back in the channel, maybe with some more up and coming audio views as well from me. Bye for now.